Hello and welcome to this video on the Advanced Algorithm Developer Program. Before we get started, I want to call your attention to this disclaimer. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and Wisewell or Trade with an Edge is not an investment advisory or broker or dealer, and therefore does not participate in the offer, sale, or distribution of securities and does not provide any investment advice. Futures trading is speculative and involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. In this video, we're going to take a look at a new training program for the rapid development of algorithmic trading strategies. The goal of this program is to teach you how to develop tradable strategies in a very organized and efficient way that can cut hours, days, and even months off the time it might otherwise take to develop strategies. When we say tradable strategies, we're talking about strategies that have been developed with particular attention to avoiding curve fitting and have been thoroughly tested to ensure that they have a high level of robustness. The training program is broken down into 4 phases, each of which is done over about a week period. So at the end of 4 weeks training, if you follow all of the recommendations and do all of your homework, you will have developed a complete, tested, tradable strategy and will be well on your way to having the knowledge to utilize this training as a template for the development of your own trading ideas into robust, tradable strategies. The training continues for another 2 cycles of 4 weeks each. So you build 2 more complete, tradable, robust strategies and cement the knowledge that you need to continue building strategies on your own. In the first phase of development, which is the first week of trading, we start with a basic idea. We explain the logic of the idea in plain English, and we provide you with the idea written in easy language code. And easy language runs on TradeStation platform. It's widely used coding language because it's written largely in English and is easy to learn and use. Nevertheless, we will give you the code with your lessons so you don't have to be proficient in easy language right away. You can pick that up over time. We also provide the TradeStation workspaces that are preloaded with the charts we will use for testing. The testing periods and symbols are already included in the charts, so your job is to do the testing and record the results. In phase 1, we are focused exclusively on determining the strength of the basic idea, which is generally an entry signal. We want to see how the idea performs over several different symbols and several different time frames. And to do this, we use some standard exits that have fixed parameters, and these same exits are generally used for all of the testing. We run the tests over an in-sample data stream and check that minimum thresholds have been met, record the results, and then run additional tests over an out-of-sample data stream as validation. On this next slide is an example of how we post those results in what we call an opportunity table. So we're posting the results for all of the symbols and the time frames that we've looked at, and we've identified the best performing results on that table. So at the end of phase 1, which is the end of the first week, we'll have a meeting to review the test results, answer any questions that you have, address any concerns, and determine the best results of phase 1 testing that will be carried forward to phase 2. We'll also provide the materials and instructions for phase 2 so that we can move forward. So here's an example of some additional charts and results that we obtained at the conclusion of phase 1. So in phase 2, we examine whether or not we can improve results by adding a filter to the basic idea. The process is similar to what we did in phase 1, but this time we'll narrow the scope of our testing to just the best performing symbols and timeframes that were validated in phase 1. Again, we record the results of the in-sample testing of filters and then run another test on out-of-sample data stream to validate. So there's an example of how we posted the results of phase 2 on the opportunity table. And we've also posted some charts so that we can see the results of both the in-sample testing and the out-of-sample testing and the parameters that were used to get those results. So at the end of phase 2, which is the end of week 2, we have a meeting to review those results, answer questions, address any concerns, and determine the best results in phase 2 testing that will be carried forward to phase 3. And of course, we'll provide the materials and the instructions for phase 3 testing. So in phase 3, we're going to examine whether or not we can improve results by adding a custom exit. Although the process is similar to the testing in phase 1 and phase 2, we are including only the basic idea and custom exits initially in our phase 3 testing on in-sample data, with validation on the out-of-sample data. And so here we're posting the results of the first part of phase 3, where we look at the exits and how they performed in combination with only the basic idea, which we call the edge, but it's the edge combined with the exits. And then we follow this up by combining the best filters with the best custom exits with the basic idea and run a validation test. And we record those results. And so for our meeting at the end of phase 3, we'll have completed a strategy that can be used for the walk-forward testing in phase 4. So for phase 4, we'll provide you with the best parameter ranges and increments to use for the optimization walk-forward testing. We do a series of walk-forward tests that start by excluding 3 months of our development testing period and then adding 3 months at a time to see the progression of results on previously unseen data to ensure robustness. You'll use TradeStation to create the optimized data file results that will be input into a custom online walk-forward optimizer, which we call a tool, that you can access on our website. This tool allows you to explore multiple fitness functions, input custom in-sample and out-of-sample periods for both anchored and unanchored walk-forward testing. It creates graphs of your results on the fly and will produce a history code that you need to finalize your strategy for incubation and testing. And here's an example of the graphs that are created by that tool, and it's showing the progression of results for minus 3 months, putting the 3 months back in, adding another 3 months, and so on down the line, and getting us to where we want to be on our final strategy. So at the end of that testing, we use the history code to put back into TradeStation and run the completed strategy with the history that's created from the walk-forward testing on out-of-sample data and produce this equity chart to show how the completed strategy performs. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you found it informative. If you have any questions, please contact us at the email address shown on the slide. And we'll be kicking off this program in the next few days. If you have an interest in participating, please send us an email at info@wisewell.com, and we welcome your inquiry.